Aquarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid May 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aquarius collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Aquarius collective in early to mid-May? It is Taurus season. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, and we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aquarius in early to mid-May. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick for you, my friends, so we can get this underway, get this show on the road. All right, cool. Yeah, lots of people for some reason. This seems to be a big theme for all the air signs. And I don't dislike the card, but as you can see, it is quite peoply for some reason. So there's a lot of reasons that can be. And again, it doesn't mean you're out there being social and there's a lot of people around you. There's other things, but the energy just has a lot on its plate. That's initially how it feels, or there's a complexity to it. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the May subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we got this bald dude, we have the lady with the wig, we have all these different pictures of different people in the background, we got shadows, it's just people everywhere. So that's initially where my mind initially goes, because it could just represent, you know, group dynamics. So like work, family, circle of influence, friends, like all of that can be in play. Now, I will say this for those Aquariuses out there that are energy sensitive, you might want to lock down your energy a little bit, because this card can sometimes be feeling everything. So if you are energetically sensitive, if you are empathetic, this is like, I'm feeling everything, I'm feeling everyone else's energy, which can be a little bit overwhelming. Now, for some of you, this could actually be a great thing. Maybe you are a bit of a people magnet. Maybe you're meeting the right people at the right times for the right reasons. It doesn't always have to get sloppy, but to me, there's a complexity to it. So for some of you, maybe you're dealing with a situation that might seem simple, but there's a lot more moving pieces than people would think, where it's like, all right, that looks simple, but it's actually complex. So it's a lot. Just make sure you're not overwhelming yourself as well. That's another thing. So very peoply, lots of intense energy. We're just going to put them down right there. I do also link that card to social media as well. All right, it's like a Facebook social media thing. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I would say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright, and we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Aquarius. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was titled Surprising Action Incoming. So whether it came from you, whether it came from somebody else, it's like I'm seeing either progress, which could be really great. It did give me an optimistic feeling, or someone's just acting in a way that I wasn't expecting them to act, or I'm seeing certain things shift where it's like, okay, why is it doing that? It made me question. So again, for some of you, great energy, for others, concerning. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for Aquarius. What's happening in early to mid-May? We got, oh, okay. So 8 of Swords. I mean, I'm not like super concerned about it. It's a fast moving energy. That's what I can say. I know the image itself looks a little concerning, right? But to me, when I see the 8 of Swords, I'm like, okay, it's like ripping off a Band-Aid. Let's get a couple more. Like, all right, it wasn't that bad. Hopefully. Hopefully that's the vibe. Okay, we got the 9 of Wands here in the center. Very cautious. Very, very cautious. Been seeing that in the other signs too. Okay, we got 2. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to have a bonus here this week, Aquarius. So we got the Queen of Swords right here on the back end, which is one of your power cards. I like the Queen of Swords. And it's like we have that cautious energy in the center, and then we have a wide open energy. So there could be certain things that do like a little flip-flop on you, because that's initially how all of these energies play off of each other. It's like flip-flop, flip-flop. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first, look first glance in the main part of the spread. And I always love to look at the elements because I feel like it frames the reading and it tells us how the energy flows. In the main part of the reading, this is all very comfortable energy for Aquarius, actually. We have air and fire. Now, when it comes to the fire, that is the realm of action. So the actions you take, the actions you want to take, the actions that other people take. I always link it to health and wellness as well, and energy levels. So whether you're feeling very good and energetic, maybe some of you have taken a little dip with your energy recently. It's always fluctuating, right? And that's the thing with fire energy, is that it fluctuates. I like it for the vitality. I like it for the action. The downside with the fire is the unpredictability, right? Because there's a volatility to it, especially when you combine it with the air on either side of it. It can be very explosive. So it's something to keep an eye on. I'm not like super concerned about it. And then here on the outsides with the Queen of Swords, Eight of Swords, that's the air. Now, I always mention it, especially for those of you that are newer. Aquarius, although you are the water bearer, you are technically an air sign. And this is your power element. It's your comfort zone. The thing I love about air, it's logical, it's pragmatic, it's smart. It deals with giving and receiving information. It could also deal with someone's mindset. And I'm a big believer in the power of a person's mindset, right? Your mindset and your perspective is everything. And the swords represent all that. There could be certain information that you're yearning for, certain things you're trying to figure out, right? When I see swords, I think of problem solving too, and just gaining insight. But and it is strong with communication as well. But the downside to swords is that sometimes it can overthink too much. Sometimes swords can be a little cold, distant, detached. So these are things to watch out for. And then we do also have a little bit of water here on the back end with the Nine of Cups. Water is the emotional realm. So whereas like the swords, that's the logical, pragmatic, strategic. This is like what I feel, right? So it's like we have the heart and mind going on here, all matters of emotion. So let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with the Eight of Swords. And this is the big reason I have like this whole flip floppy type of vibe, because it's like we have the Eight of Swords, which is like doesn't know what to think or how to view it. And then boom, the Queen of Swords, where it knows everything. Then we have this closed off energy in the center, wide open. So like there's this energy where there's a duality or a flip or a dynamic. But the Eight of Swords itself, we see this woman, she's bound up, she is blindfolded and hoodwinked, surrounded by the swords. So she does look trapped. So sometimes this energy can make one feel trapped or cornered. And it doesn't always have to be anything major. It could just be cabin fever, restless, those feelings where you just feel a little bit restless or a little jittery. Eight of Swords could absolutely be that. It can deal with anxiety, nervousness, the overthinking. That's huge when it comes to this card. Now, the good thing about the Eight of Swords is that it's a very fast moving energy where it's like, okay, this shows up, this problem, this situation. Okay, figured that out. We're marking things off the list. So there's a liberated energy that I pick up with this as well. So I like it. The Eight of Swords, although it's not always the most pleasant, it's also liberating and it moves quickly. Now, moving to the middle is a piece that is really, really intriguing to me. We have the Nine of Wands, the wounded warrior. And we see this individual all bandaged up, right? Standing, has erected a wall and is guarding it. In the positive sense, this is someone that's cautious, very protective, extremely territorial, which again, those might be personality traits that you exude, like a certain protective nature about you, like a mama bear, just for instance. But there are difficulties with the Nine of Wands. This could represent, and everyone has had their issues, but this to me represents someone that's been injured. They could still be healing. They could still be working through things. This is an energy that's been around the block a couple times and would rather not go around again, where it's like, oh, I've seen this before. Don't want to go through that again. That is the Nine of Wands to a T. It can represent blockages in communication. It could represent miscommunications as well. It could represent not letting somebody in. So, like, there's an avoidant aspect to it as well. That's something to watch out for. In its worst case scenario, this is like a bouncer at a club, right? Like, this is an energy that can reject things. So, whether it's a situation, whether it's a thought process, whether it's a habit, whether it's a person, the Nine of Wands says, you shall not proceed further. Now, moving to the back end, you shall not pass, if I want to be like Gandalf. Now, right here on the back, we have the Queen of Swords. Big air sign energy. So again, this could be an energy you're embodying in this time. Remember, it's not gender specific. Could be another air sign. So Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Queens represent the internal aspects of the suit. We already spoke about the air. And she fits this to a T, right? Like she is very straightforward, blunt, to the point. What you see is what you get. The Queen of Swords is not messing around. She's not playing games, trims the fluff, and gets straight to the heart of the matter. She is extremely intelligent and she is extremely planned out. But the biggest thing I always stress is she is not playing games. Like this is a very stern, serious energy. So sometimes she can show up when something serious is potentially going on or needs to be addressed. But you see what I mean by the flip flop? Like we have this energy here on the front that's a little overwhelmed, a little scattered. Then the Queen of Swords here on the back end, she's got a plan in her hand and she knows exactly what to do and when to do it. Now, the big downside with the Queen of Swords, sometimes she can cross from, the truthful honesty to the point of being mean, angry, brutal type of energy. Not saying you're being that, but she has a very sharp tongue. Then here on the back end for your bonus, we got the Nine of Cups, open, welcoming. Hey, I have plenty of cups. Do you want to come in and have one? So you see what I mean? We got the flip, flop. Between the energies. So I really want to clarify it. Let's dive deeper on all of it, Aquarius. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my Aquarius friends, please. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Eight of Swords. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aquarius, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Eight of Swords. What do we got going on here? Thank you. Interesting. So we have the Eight of Cups in reverse, which to me, it's two totally different messages. You take whichever one hits. Initially, with the double eights, this is an energy that loops around like a racetrack, right? So, like when I see the Eight of Swords with the Eight of Cups in reverse, it's either an energy that's stressing about something returning or popping back up, like either really wanting it to or really not wanting it to. Like to me, there's like no real middle ground. It's like, wow, I'd really like to give something another shot. Wow, no, I hope that energy doesn't pop back up again. Like to me, it feels like there's no middle ground there for some reason. So again, watch out for things popping back up in this time, whether it is thoughts, habits, people, situations. This double eight thing is like, all right, there could be certain things that pop back up in this time, whether you want to or whether you're not. Like there's energy that can return in a big way. Not sure if I've seen that for you recently. And there's also this energy that feels like it's not making progress fast enough. So if you're one of those highly motivated Aquarians out there, the Eight of Swords with the Eight of Cups, it's like, what am I doing? It feels like I'm on a treadmill here. It feels like I'm chasing a carrot on a stick. So for some of you, and again, this passes. This energy passes pretty quickly, but it's like I don't feel like I'm where I should be. That's how this feels to me. Again, it could be somebody else. It doesn't even have to be you. This could be someone where it's like I don't feel. I feel like I should be further along for some reason. So that's my main thing. Either something popping back up potentially, or just someone feeling like they're running in place. Very unique, very specific. Only take it if it hits for you. You already know the deal. This is just an energetic weather report, right? You hold the keys, my good friends. Let's go in on the Nine of Wands. Let's see what that has. So why is that Nine of Wands here? Thank you. Big troubleshooting, problem solving type of energy. This, all right. So we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse, where it's like, I don't know how much more I can add to my plate. The energy could potentially be a little bit overwhelmed. I've seen this in a couple of signs this week, so it makes sense to me. Usually, and another thing I have to mention, remember, we got the double eights, which do the figure eight. They loop. Look at this Two of Pentacles. Same thing, figure eight, where it's like the energy is looping, 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 looping back around. So to me, again, it's very similar, where it's like either I want to try something in a different way or I don't want to try it again. Like it's very cut and dry for some reason, and you would know the answer. But there's also this vibe like the Nine of Wands with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, where it's just like not quite done yet. If you've ever baked like a cake or bread or whatever, you know how sometimes you check the dough by sticking like the toothpick in there, and if there's still pieces that come out, it's like, oh, that needs a few more minutes. That's how this feels to me. The Nine of Wands with the Two of Pentacles is like, all right, that's not done baking yet. You need to give that a little bit more time. So there could be something, an endeavor, a person, a situation where Spirit's like, give it a little more time, Aquarius. Let it continue to bake. Let this finish baking before you make a final determination. That's just how this feels. So there is something, a situation that just needs a little bit more time. Like it's almost done, but it's not quite ready yet. And we still have this continuous energy that's like looping, looping, looping. So hopefully that's not you feeling like it's Groundhog's Day. But let's go in on the Queen of Swords. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. And that makes sense. Like since the beginning, I've had the flip, the flop, flip, the flop. Now we have the eights, the back and forth, and the flip and the flop. Let's see what the Queen of Swords has, and we'll do our recap. Why is she here for Aquarius? Why is the Queen of Swords here? Thank you. Huge number signs, synchronicities, omens, all that kind of stuff. All right. So we have the Four of Wands in reverse, the good old 1111 card. And that is one of my biggest cards of omens, but this is also an energy that's not messing around. It's not the most soft and cuddly. I'm being very honest with you, because like if it was in the upright, it would be super lighthearted and celebratory and this and that. Now, for some Aquariuses, this could just be advice from spirit, where it's like do the logical thing, use the logical mind. Um, Queen of Swords, Four of Wands. This is like game over. I'm not messing around. I'm not playing around type of energy. So it's very serious. So again, whether it's a serious situation, whether it's a conversation, whether how someone's acting, there is a bit of a coldness here on the back end. Uh, so watch out for that. Again, like especially when it comes to the communication. Now, the Four of Wands in reverse can sometimes represent an energy that changes abruptly. So when I see the Queen of Swords with the Four of Wands, I don't necessarily feel like it's someone forcing a change, but to me, it feels like it's somebody still getting used to something. You know, when you jump into like a cold pool, it takes like 30 seconds before you feel okay. It's something like this, where it's like, hey, I just need time to adjust. I need some time to digest. So again, I'm not saying it's you. It could be someone else where it's like, I just need time to adjust to this. There is something I am still processing. But aside from that, this is not the most soft and cuddly, and it is absolutely um, not messing around, if that makes sense. So again, whether it's a situation, talk, or whatever, the energy is it's still baking. It still needs some time. I don't know what it could be, but let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadows. So a lot of very specific things. We do got the number signs flowing and the omens and all that, with all like the eights showing up here. But position number one, we have the Eight of Swords with the Eight of Cups in reverse. I mentioned again, we have the returning energy that pops back up. So it's like I'm touching base on this, and it's like either I really wanted to or I really, really don't want it to. There's like this energy where it's like not in the middle about it. It's either all in or all out. But there's also this vibe where it feels like I'm running on a treadmill. It feels like I should be further along, like I haven't made the progress that I know I can or should. So don't beat yourself up too much about that. Moving to the middle, or again, it could be someone else. I'm not saying it's even you. But in the center, we have the Nine of Wands with the Two of Pentacles in reverse. And yeah, there's a bit of a rejection type of energy here. But the main thing it feels to me is like something's not prepared yet. Something's not fully done baking. There's something that still needs a little bit more time. And also the returning energy. That's a really big theme this week. So just keep an eye. Whether it is the thought processes, the patterns, the situations, the people, it could be a mix since it's shown up twice. Moving to the back end, we have the Queen of Swords with the Four of Wands in reverse. I did say intuitively this to me felt like somebody still adjusting to something or still getting used to something, just like jumping in an ice cold pool. You need some time to adjust to the water. But it also feels like an energy that's not very soft and cuddly, very serious, very much about its business. So there might be someone that's like acting a little cold and detached. Either that or spirit wants you to like move in a logical way. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Aquarius. What do we got? And yes, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. Let's get this going here. Thank you. Cool. Yeah. All right. So, Four of Pentacles, you're not the only one that's got this week. And I always say the Four of Pentacles, I love it when it comes to business, money, investments, finances, any of the earthly stuff. So, for a lot of Aquariuses that are dealing with work, career, business, or anything earthly, this is highly, highly favorable because it's stacking up pentacles, which is great. But when it comes to the personal or interpersonal relationships or emotional things, that's where this energy could get a little bit dicey because it's an energy that hasn't quite let go of something or hasn't fully worked through it. Now, again, there's no timetable on working through things that have affected us, right? Sometimes it takes weeks, sometimes it takes days, sometimes it takes years. Um, there is no timetable. You just need to let it work. You need to work through it however it needs to be. And the Four of Pentacles, especially with all this energy where it's not done baking, and then this one still feels like it needs more time, and it makes sense that this shows up where it's like there should not be anything forced in this time, whatever it is. Whatever the thing, whatever the situation, if you really feel like you have to force it like a square peg in a round hole, you know why there's friction. Like there's something where you just need to just let it flow how it needs to. So we're going to put it down right there, Aquarius. That's what I got for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the May subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My May calendar is up and the spots go quick, so you might want to check it out. But for the May subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 lucky subscribers to win either a copy of the Tarot of the Owls, beautiful deck, and it's really nice, or 3 custom made pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of the cards that showed up in this week's reading, which one caught your attention most or resonated with you most. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the posts tab. My friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.